Party's first official reaction to the fact that raids are taking place right now in more than 30 locations across the country. Manish Sisodia, the Deputy Chief Minister, he said first they did CBI raids, now they're doing ED raids, they'll find nothing. He said they can't stop us and our education work. Take a look at what he had to say.
पहले इन्होंने सीबीआई के छापे मारे, उसमें कुछ नहीं निकला। अब ईडी के छापे मार लेंगे, उसमें भी कुछ नहीं निकलेगा। पूरी कोशिश ये है कि बस किसी तरह से जो देश में शिक्षा का माहौल बना, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी काम कर रहे हैं, उसको रोक दिया जाए, उसको किसी तरह से आगे बढ़ने से रोका जाए। लेकिन ये रोक नहीं पाएंगे। ये सीबीआई यूज कर लें, ईडी यूज कर लें, हर चीज यूज कर लें, लेकिन शिक्षा के काम को रोक नहीं पाएंगे। ये हमारी गारंटी है। सीबीआई के लिए भी मेरी क्या तैयारी है? मेरे पास कुछ है नहीं। मैंने ईमानदारी से काम किया, मैंने स्कूल बनवाए, 4 स्कूलों के नक्शे और मिल जाएंगे उनको वहां से।
My colleague Akash with us on this answer coming in from Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. Akash, this answer is very much along expected lines. Manish Sisodia seemingly very calm, saying, let them do any kind of investigation that they want to do. We are here. Akash, tell me, in the investigations that are taking place right now across 30 places across the country, do we know if any Aam Aadmi Party leaders are at all being raided, or is it largely private associates?
So, Toya, first of all, the recent development is that till now only CBI was investigating this case, but now we are seeing that ED has come in picture. And the second question is that whether any Aam Aadmi Party leader is being raided as of now. So the answer is no. As of now, we are learning that those who had any kind of involvement in this excise policies are being raided, but not the public officers, not the officers, or not any neta, any sort of neta. Other than that, talking about what Manish Sisodia has said, so we know that Aam Aadmi Party has maintained this from day one, that they are very imandar party. They has nothing to do with the kind of financial transaction they are being alleged for. And that's the reason why we are seeing a war of words between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP, where, we are seeing multiple press conferences on a daily basis where Aam Aadmi Party is putting some sort of allegations on BJP and BJP is putting some sort of allegations on Aam Aadmi Party. Also, yesterday we saw the kind of expose where it was alleged that the person who had a very firm involvement in this particular thing, in these particular transactions, his father came on record and said all these things. Also, at this point in time, the latest development is that ED is basically carrying out raids, basically carrying out the searches at 30 locations, including this particular place. And if I can show you the visuals, this is of Sameer Mahendru, who is also a suspect in the FIR that has been registered by CBI. And as of now, we are learning that around 6 or 6:30 in the morning, these officers reached this particular place. This is 207 Jor Bagh, which belongs to Sameer Mahendru, and Sameer Mahendru is basically an MD of a private company, and he has some sort of involvement in the financial transaction. This is what the allegation is. And also, let me tell you that just a few hours back, we saw that some officers left this particular place, and basically some of them are still inside the particular house, but some of them have already left the premise. And as of now, these searches are being carried out at least 30 places across India. Toya.
Akash, thank you for these details. Let's stay with us. I'll go over now to Ashish Maharishi. Ashish, just for our audiences, can you just clearly lay out what is usually the purview of the CBI? What is usually the purview of the ED? Why are we seeing the ED get involved?
Right. But though there is an amendment in the PMLA Act which says that now, first, if required, the Enforcement Directorate can register a case, but subsequently they have to ensure that an FIR is registered by any police department, which includes CBI, local police, or whatever. So here, what we are hearing from our sources is that yesterday, entire night preparations were done for the searches. The teams have been taken from different departments of the Enforcement Directorate because it's a massive search. The other important information is that there is a special division under Enforcement Directorate, which is named as Special Task Force, that is STF, which is headed by a senior IPS officer. They are conducting these searches as of now. Interestingly, no public servant is being covered. That is another piece of information. And only private individuals are being raided. So the raid, to my understanding, is basically to collect evidence against public servants. They want to be beneficiary is. They are basically looking at who who is basically involved in money laundering. Because if you see the CBI FIR as well, especially in the case of Sameer Mahindra, they said that there are certain blacklisted companies which indirectly took the license. If you remember, Sameer Mahindru's wife, there is one allegation is that Sameer Mahindru paid ₹1 crore to one of the companies, and the second allegation is that Sameer Mahindru's wife, the parents of Sameer Mahindru's wife and their uncle, they basically they took the license by hiding the fact that the real ownership was with Indospirit, the company which is owned by Sameer Mahindru. And interestingly, in the year 2019, Sameer Mahindru and his wife both were blacklisted by the Delhi Excise Department itself. So ultimately, the liquor policy, the liquor license went into the hands of the Mahindrus indirectly, and that is why, if you remember, there was also a show cause notice issued by the Excise Department of the Delhi government. Having said that, most important aspect that is coming out is now the Enforcement Directorate is basically looking at the money trail. They are basically looking at who are the beneficiary of proceeds of crime, and that is why we are hearing that almost 30 locations, in fact, it could be more. The Enforcement Director officials are absolutely tight-lipped about this. But to my understanding, it is more than 30 locations which are being raided. It includes Delhi-NCR.
Ashish, if I could request you to just stay with us. Ashish and Akash both providing us ground coverage on this